Welcome to the Big Blue Radio Show, coming to you on Tulsa Community College's online radio station, The Grid, and on the Creativity Channel, Cox Cable Channel 21. I'm Greg Stone, Provost of TCC's Metro Campus in downtown Tulsa.
And I'm Lee Goodson, President of Tulsa Community College. Our guest today is Mark Frank, Assistant Professor and Coordinator of the Theater Program at TCC's Southeast Campus. He's with us today to talk about another upcoming season of the great performances.
Mark Frank is our guest today on the Big Blue Radio Show. Don't miss it. Mark Frank, thanks for joining us today on the show, the Big Blue Radio Show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're really glad you're here.
You have a great story about how you got to TCC to become a faculty member and program coordinator for the theater department. Tell us how you got here.
Well, my wife and I both taught probably at a small college about 65 miles away from here called Coffeyville Community College, which is on the southeast corner of the Oklahoma-Kansas border. And we were there for 20 years, if you can believe it.
Wow,
20 years,
that's a long time.
Yes, 20 years. I was invested in, we were full professors, and we were, at 9 years from retirement.
You can't be old enough to be somewhere for 20 years. Okay.
I know. I started when I was 24, so I was like, 9 years left till I retire. And I thought we're just going to, coast it. And I had a great theater program. I had one of the best in the state, probably the biggest. We had improv, we had children's theater. We were sending our kids to KU, K-State, and things were great. And then probably a couple years ago, probably 2011, I had dorms, which is different from getting here because you don't have dorms here. So I love it here because there's no dorms.
They're residence halls.
That's right.
Residence halls.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we didn't, we don't have those here. So I was in charge of all my kids in the dorms. Well, before a show, I went to go break up a water fight between the football and the basketball team, and so I right before a show because they were dousing.
They were in the residence halls with the water fight.
Yes, and they had buckets of waters and they were dousing our audience members who had to walk by the resident halls to get to the theater. So they were coming in drenched, and I was like, "What's going on?" And like, we're getting drenched by these athletes over here. So I walk across campus. I'm going down there, and I say, "Hey guys, can you stop? Soaking these audience members. They're getting wet, and they have to come see the show." And so, to make a long story short, from my left side, someone jaw-jacked me, just punched me, and almost knocked me out.
Oh my goodness!
And so I got up, went back to the theater, and I called our college president, and I said, "Hey, I just got hit over by the resident halls." And she came to campus, and we did the show, and I got hit, and then someone on the top level of the resident hall threw a hard ball, and it had hit me in the top of the head. So I had a concussion, and I had a huge knot on my cheek or by my mouth. And so these things happen. And so I finished the show, and I went home, and my wife's like, "What happened?" I said, "Well, I got hit." And it was so weird because the next day we had CBS Evening News at our house, and they're like, "What happened?" I don't know how anybody found out, but I was like
the CBS Evening News.
Yes, CBS, like Evening News,
Network.
The network, yeah.
Not local.
No, local had called me like 1,000 times, and they were at school waiting for me by my office. But the Evening News had found my address. I'm not sure how, and they wanted a story, and I was like, I'm not. And I thought, I love this college. I love our college president. These things happen. I knew that I had to go out and recruit for the school. I had to go on the road, and I didn't want to give the college a black eye by saying anything bad to it. I'm not someone who sues the college.
Right, it's just kids acting.
Exactly.
Yeah, some young people doing silly stuff, right.
Exactly, and I thought, this doesn't need to be big. This doesn't, so. And so it kind of went away, and, it kind of got rougher and rougher there. It's an 80% athletic school. It's a great college, but to me it got a little rougher and rougher. And so my wife and I were like, I think it's time for us to maybe do something else, because I feel as much as the college did, I don't think much was done about it. You know what I mean? That was the one thing that bothered me, that there was not action taken. They didn't know who it was. They They couldn't figure it out. They did some more security on campus, but it was one of those things where unfortunately it just went away. And so I got an ad. One of the people that used to work here is Judy Leeds. She used to be, I think, chair of communications or a dean here. She was our dean at Coffeyville. And she had called me up and said, TCC is needing a theater coordinator. And I had wanted, I'd been talking to my wife about making a change. I had done everything I could at Coffeyville with the theater program. I wanted a new challenge. I wanted something.
Regardless of what happens after 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can do there.
Right,
I've got great students. I've got the institution is great there. But I said, man, I want another challenge. And so I applied for the job, and I remember because I was applying for a bunch of other jobs, but I was really thinking about Tulsa Community College because I had kept in contact with Judy Leeds, and she had been telling me about productions. I actually came down here to see Peter Pan, I think, like 8 years ago. I thought, oh, the facilities, And remember that I was a one-person program, so I was doing the tech and the theater. So I was building the sets, doing the lights, doing costumes, and so I got here and I thought, wow, they have someone that does sets, someone that does lights, someone that does costumes. Wait, are you saying that all I have to do is direct and teach, and I don't have to do all these other things? And wonderful person Kelly Clark said, yes, that's all you have to do. And I was like, wow. And so I applied. I just asked questions. I applied for the job. And I remember that I was coming back from the University of South Dakota, which I was a finalist at, and I got a call from Kelly, and she said, "You're a finalist. Come and interview for that job." And the rest is history. I'm here. So.
And we're so glad you
well,
are.
Listen, I love it here. And it makes you think, should I have moved a long time ago? Because there's so many great things here, and I think you're bringing so many wonderful things here. It's a great college. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, and I love it. I mean, I love the 4 campuses. I love the non-resident halls. I love the beautiful. All campuses are all beautiful. When I went through ATE, I really thought the beautification on all the campuses. You guys really take care. There's police departments. There's police on the campuses, which make me and the students feel safe. There's a cool hub. I could go on,
Sure.
There's just so many great benefits. I love this campus.
And such an opportunity with the community.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we have, just over 500,000 in Tulsa proper, and then 1 million in the metro area. So a lot of
11,000 population to Tulsa, where I've got a lot more opportunity for a lot of bigger things.
And that's just on your campus.
That's right. Yeah, and so I've been kind of, swimming over here, doing some stuff. Been going over to West, doing some stuff. Going to Northeast. I just like the opportunity to get the theater out there wherever I can go and get it.
So, Mark, what are some of the new challenges? Wanting to make that kind of a career change. What were some of the challenges that you were looking forward to as you came to TCC? And it's been 3 years ago?
3 years ago. So, starting over. When I got here, the program was kind of, it was in good shape, but a lot of people were doing community theater a lot. They weren't doing our theater. So I had to come in and make policy, which is always tough when you come into a new job. You change policy or change things,
Yes.
You kind of give it time. You look at it like,
Right.
And so that was a big challenge. They never had improv. We've done improv for 20 years. So to start an improv troupe was brand new to them. Like, what is this improv? Die laughing. And that was really cool because I love teaching improv, and to see that discovery of the students of what that's about. The Children's Summer Theater, that was a challenge because there are other theater companies in town that do children's theater, but no one really does summer theater, like the Children's Summer Theater. They do theater during the year, but nobody really does a lot of summer theater. So I didn't know how that was going to work. Our first audition, Laura Cowan, like, is anybody going to show up? And of course, the first summer,
they did.
Yeah, we had 80 people the first year.
You've had tremendous summer programs.
120 last year for Aladdin. So it's just that nervousness of going someplace new and saying, "Will lightning strike in the bottle twice? Will I be able to pull, these programs that I want to start, and will they be successful?" But you got to put the time into it.
You've been really successful as a faculty recruiter and recruiting specifically for your program. And you've taken, how long have you been here? 3 years now?
This is my third year, yeah.
You're in your third year. You've taken that program from, was it 20 or 30
I would
majors?
say like 20. It was probably closer to 15.
Okay.
And we're at 65.
And you're at 65
Yeah.
majors in a really short period of time. Tell us about a little bit. I mean, there's something special you're doing to recruit students. Tell us what it is, and do you think it's a model for all majors, or is theater special in this way?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that I just had all this opportunity to meet all these new high school directors, and I think going to the high school and having that personal contact with that theater director and say, I really care about your kids. Whether they come to TCC or not, please use me as anything I can do for like the Oklahoma theater auditions. We'll get them all set up so they can audition for a four-year college, or we want them to come here under Tulsa Achieves or as a theater major. And so I've went to every high school in Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Coweta, I mean, everyone I could possibly imagine to go to. And if they didn't have a theater program, I would just meet the person that was the part-time person and said, but I also did workshops for their kids. And I think a lot of times kids fall in love with the personality of who they're going to learn under. And so if they get to know me, like, oh, Mark's a pretty good guy. I think I want to go to TCC and learn under him. Then I think that's been the real magic in the bottle. But I think going to the high schools, you go there, sometimes you set up a table and it says TCC. But if you go to the individual programs and you actually meet that person and meet the kids, I think that does a wealth of good for any program, because you're investing in their kids, and that's what I've done. I try to go to every high school every year. Every Friday.
Wow, every high school every year.
Yeah, so Friday we do a workshop, an improv workshop every Friday, and last week we went to Booker T. Washington. We've been to.
And that's during the day?
Yeah,
during the
Friday,
school day?
Yeah. So Friday, like my schedule is I have a production meeting, and then I never book anything from 1 to 4 on Fridays. That's my recruiting time. And so every Friday I'm on the road going to a high school and doing a workshop. So
Wow.
I'll go to Glenpool, I think next week, and then I go to Tahlequah, Muskogee. I think I've got Broken Arrow, Owasso, Jenks. So my schedule is 32 schools in a year. And then the theater kids want to go with me to do the workshops, which is cool because they go and then they get to know the kids and they become friends. Like, and then they're recruiters. They become the recruiters. Oh, I just really like doing that workshop with you. And they're Facebooking them and saying, you should come to TCC. So then they become my recruiters because they're in touch with those kids when we go do the workshop. So it's kind of cool.
You talked about the improv workshops and then mentioned Die Laughing earlier. Talk to us a little bit about the Die Laughing improv group. I mean, the shows are hysterical. You all do a show here on the Creativity Channel, Cox Cable Channel 21.
That's great.
Talk to someone who's never been to an improv show. What are they going to see when they come?
It's my favorite part about my job because if you ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway with Drew Carey, it's short form improv, which means that we play a game and we get the audience to be involved with that game. They will give us an idea. The formula for improv is. Dr. Goodson's going to tell me to do something like skiing with Miley Cyrus on Mars. Okay, so we get that from the audience, and we have to get someone to guess that through gibberish. We can't talk; we can only do gibberish, and that is just the audience feeling that they gave us the idea, so we're creating their comedy for them. And they're just short 5-minute games, and we usually do about 10 games in an hour-long show. And it's just hysterical because the audience is in on it. They're the one creating the improv. They're giving us the idea. So,
it is hilarious.
Yeah.
I saw it at the United Way.
And I'm so glad you came to watch it.
At Southeast, it was funny. If you haven't had a chance to see it, you really ought to.
Before you became provost, I was like, come play with us. And I know that you're busy now, but I think you're so witty. Like when you do convocation, you're so funny, and I just laugh so hard. And I always tell my wife, I said, Dr. Stone is such a funny person. He would be great at improv. So I just want to say that. Someday when you're not busy, but I think you'd be great at it. Yeah.
So talk to us about your own experience as an actor outside of the higher ed environment.
Well, I wanted to be a soap opera actor. I wanted to be on General Hospital. That was my goal. Those actors work 3 days a week, and they make close to $15,000 a week. And I thought, what a great life that is to live in New York, work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to go out shopping and to see shows. And that's the life I wanted. And
do they all live in New York?
Well,
or some in LA?
Some in LA, and some have houses in both places. And when I was 18 years old, that's what I wanted to do. I was in my mom and I watched soap operas growing up, and I wanted to be a soap star because I thought that is like continual work. Like it's on
Right.
5 days a week, and I thought people are famous around Soap Opera Digest, and so I really wanted to be a soap star, and so I did the whole thing. I went to undergrad, I went to grad school, I moved to Chicago. I did the audition circuit, and at that time I had hair. I had lots of hair. Yeah. I kind of was like a Michael. Not, I didn't look like Michael J. Fox, but I had that Michael J. Fox look, and so I wasn't getting cast a lot because at that time Michael J. Fox was like that look in '89. Everybody looked like Michael J. Fox, and so I didn't fit their norm, and so I didn't get cast in a lot of stuff. And so after 2 years of surviving and starving in Chicago, I moved and I went and I thought I got a teaching position at a creative arts academy. And I thought, oh, I like teaching, and that was it.
Talk to us aside from. That reminds me of Erica on All My Children.
Yes,
you know,
yes,
I mean,
love
how,
her.
how
Yes.
long was, how long did she last? You
Yeah,
know, I think,
she was great.
Yeah. So, talk to us about careers that theater majors can go into besides being just professional performers, because there's a lot of things that theater prepares you for besides just the theatrical performance itself.
You are so correct on that, because we actually have a big list of like 3 columns of, besides being an actor, what else could you do? You know, a radio show there's a lot of personalities on radio. I was just thinking us 3 sitting here. I thought that's a great thing. I know this sounds really crazy, but real estate.
Really?
Some theater majors, they said that like 60% of theater majors that graduated in 2011 to 2012, many of them became real estate agency, because you have that personality. You're theatrical. With,
A lot of confidence.
Yes, a lot of
Yeah.
confidence. You know, real estate. I think some people go into modeling. Some people go into public speaking. Some people go into seminars. Some people go into marketing.
I've heard law school.
Law school. That was the other one.
Tell me about that.
We have 5 former alumni from my former school that are lawyers, and they had told us that their theater training and improv training has been great, learning to be a prosecutor, because they're quick on their feet. They can
Interesting.
figure things out. They can take an idea and run with it, and so I thought that was kind of interesting. It's funny you say that, because that's another one, like the real estate job, that people are becoming
Right.
lawyers.
I had heard that somewhere. I can't remember.
So I mean,
where.
there's a lot of possibilities for a theater major. When the parents come to TCC, they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "No, but wait, there's
Wait,
like,
here's the
exactly.
list,
There's
yeah.
a list of other things they can do." So,
Right.
Mark, we only have a couple of minutes left, but before we get to the big question, briefly talk us through the season. The season's at the Performing Arts Center for
Sure.
Education at Southeast Campus is open with The Miser. Talk us through the rest of the season.
We're doing One Man, Two Governor, which was a big smash hit on Broadway in 2006 with James Corden, a guy that's serving 2 governors, and he's trying to stay alive while trying to fall in love. It's a very funny show. In the spring, Lion in Winter, which was a very famous show by Katharine Hepburn and Peter O'Toole, if you watched the movie, very good, about 3 sons that are trying to steal their father's throne. And then we end with Aida, the Elton John and Tim Rice musical about a princess that falls in love with the enemy, and unfortunately at the end, well, I won't tell you how it ends. But
Don't tell us how it
No, I
ends.
won't tell you how it ends.
No
It's
spoilers.
it's a beautiful musical. And then Die Laughing. We have Die Laughing shows.
Of course, yeah.
So, and then of course this summer, Mulan Junior with the kids. We're doing Aristocats, Disney's Aristocats, for our theater camp at Continuing Ed, and then we're doing Mulan Junior with the kids. So
And if people want to know more about those shows or how to get tickets, they can call.
they can just call me at 918-595-7732.
Or they can go to the TCC website, tulsacc.edu.
You betcha.
And be able to find information there.
Yeah.
So the last question we ask all of
Okay.
our guests, the
Yep.
big question, if you could go back in time and give your 18-year-old self, as you're getting ready to enter college, some advice, what would that advice be?
I would say no matter what happens, stay positive. You know, I think sometimes you get things that are thrown at you in left field, you don't know what to do with them, and I think I think it took me a while to learn that as a person, like late 20s, 30s. But no matter what happens, stay positive. There's a lot of things that happen in your life, and it's easy to jump on the negative train with negative people and negative things, but no matter what happens, stay positive. I think your life is too short to be negative. You're only on this earth for a brief window. So everyone's suffering about something. Be nice to everybody that you meet, and always be positive.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but we want to thank our guest, Professor Mark Frank from TCC's Southeast Campus, for joining us.
And thank you for joining us. Remember, you can find us every week online at The Grid, tulsacc.edu/thegrid, and on the Creativity channel, Cox Cable Channel 21. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.